Welcome to In the Shop. I know we've been gone for a while, but we're back. We're back in the saddle. I've already kind of started this job just to open up. Pulled all my powers. These are the powers off of the battery. This one. This one. That's the new one. This one. Here. All these powers are pulled off. And kind of slung out of the way, because what I'm doing is, this is my new fuse box I'm going to put in here. This guy's going to sit in here like this, right there. And it's going to replace this little sucker here, is what they call the duck foot. No, that's the duck foot. That's what we're replacing. And this guy here, looks like it picks directly off power to the relay here. So that's another one. We'll just run that sucker through the fuse. Or actually, I'm going to run that to the relay, because the relay's, yeah. So the power comes from here. It's one of my powers. This is the main factory power right here. Comes from here into this duck foot. And these are fusible links. So basically, before I left for California on the road trip, I had one go out and ended up replacing it with this. And then this ran into this whole hodgepodge trash collection of, these are my two grid heaters right here. This is my headlights. This is all going to the power cable. So I'm going to ditch this, pull this harness out. I'm going to keep these relays. I'm thinking about taking these 3 relays here and putting them in the box. Let's go over to the bench and take a look at that box. Look at this. And that's a disaster. So this is the box. So the box, these are 30 amp relays. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 8, 9, 30 amps, and then these 2 40 amps. So I'm going to do, these might be my headlights, although I'm running LEDs, so I might make these 2 my LED headlights, and then this will take care of the high amperage relay, and then I'll put another low amperage relay and then run some of these out for lighting or winch or whatever. So basically, okay, we got that. This box is pretty cool. I got this off of the Bay of E, straight up out of China. So these relays, they're just sitting in there right now. I don't have them pinned. So I got this right here, so I need to pin everything. Pin the wires. What I've got pinned out right now is, well, look on the back, I've got 160 amp fuse and 120 amp fuse, maxi fuse, and then these are, anywhere between 5 and 40, these guys here. And you can see what I've done is I went ahead and let's see here. Okay, this is my power bus. So basically this bus clicks into the 2 maxi fuses and all of these fuses. These fuses here are all going to be independent. So I'm going to need to run 2 wires if I decide to do any of those. And then of course the relays will also be independent. So basically these are gonna pick up all my powers right here. And then I'll pigtail out the relays, zip them, mark them for when it comes time for me to do that. So basically I'm going here in the book. This is the book, and it shows the battery. Here's one fusible link. There's another one. This is the I think this one does all the lamps. So it goes straight to the headlamp switch, and this one's going to be my 60 amper. And then this one here's the charging system straight off the alternator, and this one's going to be my 120 amper, because you can see it's 50 to 120. And then the rest of them will be these, and we'll have a few extra. So that's where we're at, and that's what we're doing. I'm making a bracket to mount this thing here, and once I get the bracket mounted, I'm going to button it all up nice and pretty. I'll throw some relays in it and pin the relays. I may have to go get some more wire for those relays, because it looks like those wires aren't going to be long enough. Get that going and stick all that in there, and then I'm cooking with gas. So that's where we're at on this job. I'm going to work on it a little bit, and I'll get back to you guys when I get ready to have an update. Okay, you guys, this is my favorite part of the project. When you step back and you look at it, and you're like, holy shit, what's going on here? Okay, so basically, I'm only gonna run three relays, the three that were here. I was gonna swap my headlight relays here out, these two guys here. I was gonna swap them out and put them here, but because there's other relays like this. But these are only 30 amperes, and I only had one spot for a 40 ampere. So I took that spot for the bigger relay that was over here. So basically what we got here is these are my two big powers for my maxi fuses. And all these guys here, well, these ones with the green stuff on them, those are for the relays, this auto start relay. 3 relays, auto start. I think the wide open throttle relay for the AC, and some other relay for something else. Anyways, those are the relays. It looks like a total rat's nest, but it's doing something. This right here is getting rid of those relays and my fusible links, which are these guys right here on the duck foot. That's the little duck foot right there. And those are the fusible links. So I'm getting rid of the fusible links and tapping into the fuse box and doing proper fuses. There's gonna be fuses. This whole thing's gonna be filled with fuses. I've got to figure out which wire is gonna go where. But again, that's my favorite part of the project, because you look at it and you're like, holy shit, what's going on there? It's just a mess. It's a rat's nest. So that's where we're at. And you can see I got a mess over here, all kinds of stuff. I had some issues with pinning the pin in the box. Those guys there didn't really work out. The locks on them were kind of sucky. Okay, we got the update going. So I've basically got it all wired in. Battery still disconnected. That's what the box looks like installed. Let's get this kind of cheesy looking bracket. I may sharpen that up. So I've got all of the power, the bypass for the fusible links. They're all in here, and of course they're all run to these fuses here, and that's the one that is not being used because we've got one extra one for, you know, future expandation. The relays are not wired in yet, so I just test fired it and it fired up. I'm going to hook up my grid heaters. These are my grid heater relays. And these, I didn't want to change these because they're big, heavy relays for the grid heater right here. You know, there's like a little grid heater. This truck, the 12-valve Cummins, does not have glow plugs, which the glow plug is in the cylinder. And the grid heater just gets the intake air, runs the intake air past a grid heater. Basically a little electric radiator thing that, you know, heats up the air to go in there. Anyways, all that being said, we're getting this wrapped up. I'm probably gonna drive it for a little while with the loom exposed like that. And then when I know all my connections are good, I'm pretty sure they are. I did use, you know, and I've had mixed results with these things here. I use these little doohickeys, and I've had mixed results with them. So this little piece in the middle right here, that thing's got to melt into the wire. And I've had some pull out in the past, so I'm gonna let it run. I was a little more diligent this time when I heated those, and I was diligent making sure the solder melted into the wires and gave it a pull test. So it should be good, but you know, I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road again. So we're going to drive it for a little while like that and go out, you know, and do that thing. So basically that's where we're at. We're going to take, and all these have already been pre-mapped out which relays go to which one. This is the number 4 relay. This one is that one's number 3. Yep, the number 3 relay. And this one here, oh, that's the number 3. And this must be the number 5. Yeah, because that one was the first one. It was done with an ink pen, and these other ones were done with permanent markers. So those basically now I need to take and cut these wires and splice them into these wires. So, you know, it's best to map everything out when you do a big job like this. Map it out first. You can see I came over here and basically these are my notes. There's my duck foot. That's my duck foot right there. You see duck foot, and then these are the wires going. These are the fusible links coming out of the duck foot. This end of the duck foot connected directly to power, and there was another wire pigtailed in there to power. I don't understand the deal with it, but I ran them both to fuses. And then you can see these, the gauge of the wire, the amps of the fuses that I decided to run, or I didn't. I actually stole that from somebody else. They did that, and then there I also did a valve lash that was from before. This is the relays that were installed. This is the relay. This is I think that's number four, and that's number 5, and number 3. I just they're all the same. So, and this is just figuring some stuff out. So basically, yeah, when you do a job like this, it's a good idea to map everything out first, mark everything, and then, you know, slowly pick away at it. So I did the power wires, all the power to the truck first. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the relays, and I'll do the relays one at a time. And as I do them, I'll start and make sure the truck starts and runs and all that stuff. So I know exactly what I did wrong when I do something wrong. I say when I do something wrong because the chances are pretty highly likely that something could be, you know, hooked up wrong or something like that. Okay, so we got some mods done, man. We've got the cream puff in the shop. I worked on her this weekend, a couple days. Got the my little mod all done. And these wires, I'm going to leave them open, unwrapped for now, just so that I can run it to make sure everything's fine and I don't have to open up my wrapping. I did that, and there's a few other mods I did too. Okay, mods. We got lots of mods, guys. Mods. So what I did was I went ahead and I completed the look of the PO, previous owner. Had this, this thing's just insane, beautiful. And so I got another antler horn and stuck it on the shifter because it didn't have a shifter. There was a bullet there. We did the cowboy hat rack mod. Ding, 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 ding. So the cowboy hat sits up there. And then I also went ahead and completed the mod hillbilly redneck truck cowboy cream puff. I guess more just cowboy cream puff out by putting a little gun rack in the back. So when I go hunt or sport shoot, I can safely transport my firearms. So yeah, we got a lot done, and that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the cream puff. Let's do this too. Guys, look. After all the electrical, you wait for the engine. Fires right up. Runs good. It's right now, I think there's a sensor in the intake, and I think it's off a little bit because she does, there's like a temperature between where the grid heater is supposed to come on and it doesn't come on. It comes on much colder. So it runs a little rough in the beginning when it first starts up, but we got, again, that. She's ready for the road. The cowboy cream puff rides again. Abso-frickin-lutely, people. Cowboy cream puff. She's coming along. She's coming out of the shop today. And then we're gonna put the International in the shop, and she's the next project. Got a lot of little stuff. We're gonna make an exhaust and do a bunch of fun stuff. This would be the exhaust of second time, basically the third time. I've had that exhaust apart quite a bit, but we're gonna get it right, and this is the final time, hopefully. And there's some other projects coming up. I got a prop here. I'm going to fill some crap on it with the aluminum. So now it's cleanup time. Get the truck dialed in and clean up.